I've been using these 4 colors for about a year now, and I really love them. They are the American Journey brand by Cheap Joe's. That's the only place you can get them, is Cheap Joe's. And these are 4 of my favorite colors. I have apricot, Pat's Coastal Blue, Coastal Fog, and then French Gray. Since I like these so much, I wanted to see what else the brand could offer. So I went shopping. And here's what I came up with. I've got another gray, Getz gray. I've got a buff titanium, because you guys know I love buff titanium. I've got a mint julep green. Isn't that a beautiful color? I'm hoping it's that color. I have periwinkle, which looks like my lavender, so I'm hoping it's close. I've got blue stone. Just the name sounds fantastic. I've got yellow ochre, quinacridone burnt orange, quinacridone burnt scarlet, and then raw umber violet. I'm hoping this color is like a caput mortem. That's what I'm hoping anyways. So these are the colors we're going to swatch out today. And I want to just do them as a mass tone and then a lighter value. So let me get my book and we'll get started. In my book, I cut out a piece, a little template of 2 leaves, and I just used like a scrap file folder. It's great because it's heavier cardstock and it doesn't really bend real easy. So I just laid out squares and then I put it down and traced with a pencil. So that's how I got them all to look uniform. And then I've got all the colors here laid out, just little dollops of everything. Hopefully it's enough paint. And I'm using the 10-aught Raven. It's the quill brush. It's a little smaller than my Da Vinci brush. And again, such thin handles. I'm really liking the thin handles, and it's so lightweight because of the handle. Okay, we're gonna start with French Gray. I want you to think of French Gray as a lighter buff titanium, a more gray, almost colorless color. And it's just what I was hoping for. I wanted something that wasn't as warm as buff titanium. So when I got this color, I was really excited about it. The first couple colors I'm going to be doing are opaque colors, which means they have some white in them. If you want all the pigment numbers, I'm pretty sure Cheap Joe has them on their website. And then all I'm going to do is dip my brush into water and add some little splashes. And then I'm going to do a lighter tone, so just more water for this little baby leaf here. Some of these are so light already that it's not really going to show up the lighter tone, but maybe just a little bit. There we go. The next color is buff titanium. I always like to try other buff titaniums. I'm on kind of a quest right now, seeing what other brands have, because it is a color that I use a lot. It's my duller color, or my muting color. And I would say I don't paint a piece without it. This one seems to be a little more yellow than the Daniel Smith brand. Daniel Smith just has a little browner hue to it, but it's very pretty. Add some water drops, splashes. The next color is apricot. Now this is one of the colors that it reminds me of shell pink, only it's more apricot, more on the peach side, and it is fantastic. I actually love this color. Again, it's on my palette and it's getting ready to go on my big palette. It's a little more transparent than the shell pink, but yet it's still pretty opaque. But I love the tone of it. I'm using it the same way that I used the pink, as really kind of a muting color. But you can see how beautiful it is. Look at that color. Rinsing my brush for a lighter tone here. If you do portraits and you're looking for a nice peach color, that is definitely one to use. The next two colors are very much alike. So I have Coastal Fog. You can see them here on the palette. This one's Coastal Fog. It has more green. This is Pat's Coastal Blue, and it's a little more blue, but they're very interchangeable. So when you have something that you just want a little bit of green, I like to mix the French gray and the coastal because it's just so pretty. It's still a very light color. But I haven't seen anything with this tone, which is why I was really excited when I bought this one. Just a little bit of water. Can you see that? Look at that color. It's like a really soft sage green. It's so pretty. Now I'm going to the Pat's Coastal Blue. And you can see right there, it's a lovely shade as well. But look at the blue tone in it. These are really convenience colors, but they are what I like to mix with. Dip in some water. And then we have Getz Gray, which is a really dark gray. It's very pretty. I would think it's more on the cooler side, which means it tends to lean more blue than warm. You know, it's like a shock after all those light colors, right? I wish they had this in a warmer gray. I love a good warm gray. Gonna rinse my brush. Let me show you those colors. Look at them so far. Now, isn't that an interesting palette? So soft, and yet each color is so different. That's why I just had to see what else this brand had to offer, because I've never seen that many beautiful colors in one palette by one company before. And it was all because I found apricot first. I believe I bought apricot and the Coastal Fog and Pat's Coastal, and then I added the French Gray and the Getz Gray, and then I started adding the other colors. Now this was that mint julep. Let's hope for a green like this. That's what I'm hoping for. It's pretty bright. Now this would look great with any of those lighter colors mixed into it. This is really intense for me, but it's a beautiful color. Let's water down the color. Now you're talking my color here. The next color is Blue Stone. I'm really excited to see what this color is about. Look what it looks like in the tube. Isn't that a beautiful color? I'm hoping it's that color. We'll see. It doesn't look, it looks a little more cobalty as I pulled it out. I don't know if that's a word, cobalty, but it is for me. I was hoping it was more of a Payne's gray color. But I can always mix that with that and that would look lovely. It's a little more water on my brush. The next color is the periwinkle. Now this I equate to lavender. So let's see how close it is. Wow, it's very close. It might have a touch more blue than the Daniel Smith, and it seems a lot brighter than Daniel Smith lavender. Into my brush. And then I wanted to experiment with some reds. And you know I'm on the look for a good raw sienna, so I bought a yellow to see what that yellow would do. The next line is Raw Umber Violet. This is the one I'm hoping is like Caput Mortem. It's a beautiful shade. Doesn't seem as thick as Caput Mortem. Wow. Hope you're seeing this. I seem to be having a shift right now. I'm wanting some deeper, richer colors on my palette. And maybe because we're in August and I know fall is coming and those are nice, deep, colorful colors. My favorite time of the year is fall. Okay, let's water that down. My favorite colors are Quin Burnt Scarlet and Quin Burnt Orange of Daniel Smith. Those are two of my really favorite colors for red and orange. So when I found that in this American Journey color, I was really excited to try them. So we're gonna try the Quin Burnt Scarlet first. It looks very orange here. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I'm using the Stillman and Byrne Beta Series sketchbook. It is I think 7.5 by 7.5. It's the square one. And it has mixed media paper in it. But it's nice and heavy, and I don't get any buckling, which is why I like it for sketching. Little water. Okay, the next color is Quin Burnt Orange. I'm hoping for a really pretty orange. Think of a deep burnt sienna. That's kind of what I'm looking for. We're off to a good start. It's not pumpkin orange. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Look how rich that is. This is a gorgeous color. A little water on my brush. And the final color is yellow ochre. It's way up here. You can see it's pretty bright. I will have all my supplies linked below. This little paint dish that I'm using is from Etsy. And it's actually for plants. And I just asked if they would glaze it for me, and they did, which was really nice. I like the long narrowness of it all. Okay, rinsing my brush. It's all dry. I've labeled everything, and I'm going to bring you up close. Now, most of them, you can see the movement of the water that I splashed on them. There were a couple that barely moved. So that was the French Gray barely moved, and then the Raw Umber Violet and the Quin Burnt Scarlet. The water just kind of sat there. It didn't really bleed into, so smooth out like that with like a water drop does. You can see that like in the periwinkle here, and it really great in the yellow ochre and the apricot. So as you're looking at the leaves, look for that too. So that tells you how much it can lift and how much movability it has within the color. So I'm going to go over the colors one more time. We got French Gray, Buff Titanium, Apricot, Coastal Fog, Pat's Coastal Blue, Getz Gray, Mint Julep, Blue Stone, Periwinkle, Raw Umber Violet, Quin Burnt Scarlet, Quin Burnt Orange, and Yellow Ochre. Look at those colors. Aren't they gorgeous? Do you see the difference between the Coastal Fog here and the Pat's Coastal Blue? This Mint Julep, I would like to see what this and Opera Pink does together. They seem just so bright. I love this Raw Umber Violet. It's very beautiful. I like all the Quin Burnt Scarlet and the Quin Orange as well. So I'm really excited about this palette of colors. I think I made good choices. I really was hoping that that was a little more on the lighter side than so bright, and I was really hoping that was more on a little bit of more Payne's Gray. But I know if I mix those two, and I know if I mix this with any of those, it's going to be really beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed a look at the American Journey colors by Cheap Joe's. I would really love to know what your favorite color was. If you were inspired today, please like, comment, or subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.